Okay, picture this. It's a one-point game. The ball is in the underdog's rising star. The defending champs, they are on the ropes. And look at the clock. Only 16.3 seconds left. I mean, everything is coming down to this one single moment. So what does he do? He drives right to the basket, straight at the league's MVP. There's contact and the whistle blows. But what was the call? Was it a game-winning foul or was it a game-saving block? The whole thing, the entire outcome just hangs on this one decision. All right, let's really get into this, because this is the story of how a game that should have been totally routine, well, it turned into an absolute nail-biter. And the craziest part? It was all decided in a chaotic, super controversial final 32 seconds. But to really get why this finish was so shocking, you gotta understand the setup first. Because on paper, yeah, this game should have been over before it even started. I mean, just look at the records here. On one side, you've got the Denver Nuggets, a legit championship contender, sitting pretty with 38 wins. And on the other, the Utah Jazz, a team in full rebuild mode with just 18 wins all season long. You see what I mean? This was supposed to be a walk in the park for Denver. But there is a catch. The Nuggets, they were tired. See, this was the second night of a back-to-back for them. They had just played a really tough game against Minnesota the night before, so, fatigue was absolutely going to be a factor here. Now, on the other side of the court, calling the Utah Jazz an underdog, well, that might be the understatement of the year. The official word was depleted. They weren't just rebuilding, folks. They were running on fumes with a total skeleton crew. And this just drives home how shorthanded they really were. Their all-star Lauri Markkanen, out. Most of their other starters and key rotation guys, shelved with injuries. So what you had was basically a team of backups and young players going up against the defending champs. No way this should have been close, right? But what this crazy mismatched game gave us was an absolutely epic duel. We're talking a veteran star versus a fearless rookie. And this one-on-one battle, it completely defined the entire night. So, on one side, you had Denver's Jamal Murray. His team was looking sluggish, kind of tired, right? So he just put them on his back and absolutely erupted for an incredible 45 points. Just a masterful performance from a proven champion. And check this out. This is where he just took over. In the third quarter alone, he drains 5 threes and scores 18 points, basically single-handedly dragging the Nuggets into the lead. It was that classic Jamal Murray heat check moment, That moment when a great shooter feels completely unstoppable and literally can't miss. But hold on, he wasn't the only one on fire, not by a long shot. For the Jazz, this rookie, Keyonte George, he answered the call. He just refused to let his team back down. He went shot for shot with Murray, pouring in a stunning 36 points of his own. What a performance. And it wasn't just about the scoring. He was making huge, clutch plays. With just over 2 minutes left, George just explodes to the rim for a dunk that gives the super depleted Jazz a 4-point lead. Can you imagine? The whole arena was electric. You could just feel the upset brewing. I mean, it was just an unbelievable offensive battle. You had these two guards just trading insane shots all night long. Get this, 81 points and 12 threes between just the two of them. It was absolutely spectacular to watch. And so all of this incredible back and forth, it all built up to those final frantic seconds where this amazing game wasn't going to be decided by the players, but by the referees and a replay monitor. Okay, so follow this sequence really closely, because this is where it gets wild. With 31.8 seconds to go, Murray hits his free throws, puts Denver up by 1. Then, we're at 16.3 seconds, George drives on Nikola Jokic, the whistle blows, it's a shooting foul called on the floor. But then, everything just stops. A long Ken's for view starts up, and in the end, the referees, they reverse the call. No foul. They say it's a block shot. So what does that even mean? Well, a blocked shot, by definition, means the defender, Jokic in this case, made clean, legal contact with the ball, not with the shooter. So the original call on the floor, the refs decided it was wrong. And to really understand just how gigantic this reversal was, you have to look at this number. 6. That's how many fouls Nikola Jokic would have had if that call had stood. He would have been out of the game, disqualified, and Keyonte George would have been shooting free throws with a chance to take the lead. I mean, the reversal was just massive. So, instead of fouling out, Jokic stays in the game. And then, he gets fouled and calmly sinks 2 free throws, extending the lead. This forces George into a desperation three at the buzzer. And he misses. And just like that, game over. So after all that drama, what was the final verdict? Well, for the Nuggets, it was a great escape, plain and simple. But for the Jazz, it was just utter heartbreak. There's the final score. Denver 128, Utah 125. A 3-point win for the Nuggets in a game that was decided really on the thinnest of margins and one of the most controversial calls you'll see. So in the end, the Nuggets escaped with the win. They extended their winning streak and kept their place in the standings. But for the young Jazz, man, despite that heroic effort, it was their 6th straight loss. Just a gut-wrenching result after coming so incredibly close. And so that leaves us with the big question, right? How do you remember this game? Do you remember it for the legendary performances of Jamal Murray and Keyonte George? Or do you see it as a victory that was ultimately decided, maybe even stolen, by a referee's reversal? I'm curious, what do you think?